It's time for Tubi Tuesday. And today we're checking out a movie called Wrong Side of Town, which came out in 2010. And it's a Van Damme movie. A Rob Van Dam movie. It's got wrestlers as the stars, Rob Van Dam and Batista. Although if you looked at the cover of this DVD, you'd be remiss if you thought that Batista was the star, as he takes up most of the thing. Like this. With Rob Van Dam on this side and Ja Rule on this side. And Ja Rule is in the movie like 5 minutes. Rob Van Dam is the actual star of the movie. He's putting it back while Batista's on the front. Batista is, his total time in this movie is 10 minutes. That's it. And yeah, so this is a movie I actually bought back in 2010 because of those two on the cover. It's another one of those movies that went back and forth between me and my friend Eric. I think he ended up pawning it, if I remember correctly. Or maybe not. No, because my other friend of mine, he bought it himself, and then I bought it, and then it went back and forth between me and Eric, and I think he pawned it. I don't know. The movie I wanted to get back, I don't think it's as terrible as I've heard people say, but it's not the grandiose, like, action film you would have. If Jean-Claude Van Damme was in this, I think it would be higher up on the stature, but, you know. You may be wondering, well, his name is Rob Van Dam, right? It must be related. No, it's a misconception. They say, I've heard people say that, oh, they're brothers. They're brothers. They're not related at all. Rob Van Dam is from Michigan. Jean-Claude Van Damme is friggin' French, from Brussels, Belgium. That's where that is from. But, no, they're not. He looks, the name can't, I couldn't tell you what Van Damme's real name is, but it's not Van Damme. It's also not spelled the right way. You know, Van Damme has 2 M's and an E. Jean-Claude Van Damme has 2 M's and an E, whereas Rob Van Dam has 1 M, no E. Yeah. But the name came from, he looks sort of like him, and he can do the high kicks and the splits. So yeah, Rob Van Dam it is. Rob Van Dam plays our main character, Bobby. And the plot concerns his neighbor brings him and his wife out to a club, and the club's owner's brother tries to sexually assault Bobby's wife, and the guy is accidentally killed in self-defense. Technically and legally, Bobby did not even put a hand on him to kill him at all. He fought him off and threw him into the couch, where the guy gets stabbed by his own knife. But, of course, the guy's brother, the main villain of this film, he decides to put a price on Bobby's head. So Bobby has to survive the night. It's what they should have called this movie, Survive the Night. Wrong side of town. Because he's on the wrong side of town, but, you know. And I'll admit that Wrong Side of Town could be a James Bond movie. And it seems like whoever made this thought that too. Because the opening does seem kind of very James Bond. We start off with our main villain, Seth Bordis. He's got this guy tied to a chair with his 2 thugs. And, of course, they're big fat guys, one with a big bushy beard, because it's a direct-to-video action film. You gotta, you know. And, you know, he's talking to this guy about, oh, you sold me out. And he's like, no, I didn't. Oh, yeah, what's this? And he plays the recording. And then this crooked cop that looks like a discount Clint Eastwood comes out. He's like, oh, I told you. Yeah, so there's a crooked cop that kind of sold him out, and breaks his name, but I'm going to call him Discount Clint Eastwood, of course. And they throw him into the river with some nice shoes. And then, we start with the opening credit sequence, which, well, is not like the top grade you would see in a James Bond film. It feels very James Bond. There's women and a song and the names popping up. Then we meet our main character, Bobby, who had a chainsaw and can't finish. The chainsaw goes out, so he punches the wood in half. There's a gag where his teenage daughter seems to be drowning, but it's all about an acting class. So the mom grounds her for a month. Okay, I get it. It's something that's scary. Like, first of all, I don't know why you would prank your parents like that, but also, she says she's training for an acting class. Clearly, she's very good at it. So, since you give props, and then it changes to 2 weeks. I would, I don't know. Would it be it? Was that punishable? That she did. Anyway, we meet Bobby's new next door neighbor, Clay, who is the whitest black guy I've ever met. I'm serious. He comes up, he's wearing a polo shirt with the button up. He's like, hi, I'm Clay, I'm your new neighbor. I'm like, just what? Yankovic is blacker than this dude. What the hell? This is the most, how did I say earlier? Buttered white toast black man that I've ever seen in a movie. He's just so, it's not like Steve Urkel levels of nerdy. No, he's not nerdy. He comes off as like they told him, it's like the character was supposed to be white, but they hired a black man, and so he has to play white. Despite that being completely racist, I don't know. This guy is for lack of a better term, it's a black dude playing a white dude is what it feels like. He doesn't act like, yo, what's up, my brother? Yo. Like, Ja Rule comes in here later and is more black than this dude ever is. And he has 5 minutes of screen time. I'm just saying. But yeah, so he invites Bobby and his wife out. Dinner that night, they go to this club. The club's owned by Seth. And yeah, they're having a good time. And then the ladies go to the bathroom on the way back. We meet Seth. We see Seth's brother. I forget his name. Well, Seth's brother. Not Eugene. I want to say Richie, but it's not Richie. I forget the name. But they see his brother. He's doing some cocaine, right? And then, and then he gets all hot up on the dance floor. And all these hot women, he sees this housewife, mom-looking woman, Bobby's wife, is like, you're the most beautiful woman in here. Now, if they had gone the Hollywood route and cast a gorgeous woman to play the wife, I could see that. But this is the most normal-looking woman. Now, nothing about this. She's a beautiful woman. But some people would look at her and be like, okay, that's mom. She's a very mom-looking woman. They casted her as a very mom-looking woman. That's a mom. That's a mother. That's a normal mom-looking woman. She's not a bad looker. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You did not cast like a gorgeous woman with curves and double D's, like Rob Van Dam's real wife, Katie Forbes. Someone that looks like her, or like a professional wrestling woman. No, this is a normal looking woman, normal curves, mom. Very much, this is mom looking woman. You look at her and you say, she's a mom. That is, she's probably a mom, very, And this guy's hitting on her like she's the most beautiful woman in the world he's ever seen, is what he says. And he's like, hey, you want to check out my office? And she's like, no. And of course, he forces her in there. And somehow, Bobby gets a sixth sense that something is wrong when the other wife comes back alone. And then somehow hears her screaming through a club full of music and bullshit. And goes through there. And they have a standoff. The dude takes out a knife. And like I said, he just jumps out of the way. And he goes into the couch, and it somehow stabs himself in the chest. Don't know how that works, but that's what happens. And so, things happen. The cops show up. Of course, it's Briggs, the discount Clint Eastwood, and Seth is pissed off. Now, I've watched this movie several times. I watched it today. And not once do they ever explain to Seth what actually happened. Like, the whole movie, he's like, he killed my brother. He killed my brother. He killed my brother. No one says, no, he moved out of the way. The brother landed on his own knife. It was an accident. No, you got this guy going, oh, it's everything I've looked at is self-defense. I'm like, self-defense. It was an accident. Not once, because they can't tell him it was an accident. Because the writers say, oh, if he knows it's an accident, then he's going to be like, oh, okay. But no, because this character, we find, that there's a speech later with this character. We find out there's a twist, and we also find out that he doesn't care what it's about. So even if you had said, hey, it was an accident. Your brother tried to kill him with a knife, moved out of the way, stabbed himself with his own knife. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered because in Seth's eyes, Bobby still caused the death. So I don't know why at no point in this film anyone says to him, oh, it was an accident. Your brother accidentally killed himself. He landed on the knife. No one says it. No one. So, of course, he puts a price on Bobby's head, and so goes there attacked on the way back home. And this dude locks his car several times that I'm pretty so many times that I'm pretty sure it was unlocked. How many times? Jeep, 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 jeep. Okay, we get it. Your precious car, okay? But they arrive at a gas station. And that is when we see third wrestle cameo of Nelson Frazier Jr., known as Big Daddy V, or the world's largest love machine, Viscera. Yeah, as part of this gangs that are trying to... Yeah, because at one point, I think this is later actually, he gets a cab ride, or they get a cab ride. Okay, this is later actually, because they are attacked, and then they go back to the police station to tell them, hey, people are attacking them, and they think it's Seth Borders. They say that people said that Seth Borders sent them, and so he's saying, and the cops like, okay, I'll take your statement, and then they're like, we had enough. Let's just go home. Okay, I'll give you a car. So he gets this cab, and the cab takes him to this gas station where he abandons them, and then Rob Van Dam can hotwire this car after he deals it. Like, he punches Viscera in the throat, and then grabs his nuts, and then hops into the car, not still holding us, that'd be something, takes off. No, that would be cool. That would be cool, but no, of course not. Yeah. So, Seth is angry at Discount Clint Eastwood for letting him go. He's like, I want to know where he lives. And this crooked cop gets a conscience. Like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. They're going to know it's you. They already know it's him. But it's like, if you do anything, because earlier they talked to me, like, if you do anything, they're going to know it's you. And obviously that's the truth, but if you got someone without saying it. So he tells Clay to get his wife home and goes to talk to BR, who is Batista. Yes, the proclaimed star of this movie, even though he's not. He's in this movie 10 minutes. Goes to talk to him, and he is sitting in a strip club next to Stormy Daniels, Donald Trump's favorite porn star. And she has, of course, got her tits out, because it's Stormy fucking Daniels. She's gonna be in a movie, you're gonna have her tits out. But come on. I mean, technically that's every movie with Stormy Daniels, but I'm just saying. She has a cameo, and then she puts them away, and she walks off. We don't see her again. And then I was saying, hey, I need your help. By the way, Rob Van Dam's acting in this movie, just kiss. No, he's not very good. Probably due to, extra, But yeah, he's not the best. But Batista, even in his infancy as an actor, it's still better. I'm sorry, he has 10 minutes in this movie, and it's still better than Rob Van Dam's acting. Say, hey, we found out. Well, first of all, they messed it up because when Bobby shows his card, he's like, "Oh, you were special services." It's special forces, you dumbasses. Special forces, special services sounds like he was an EMT or something. It's special forces. They couldn't even get the name right. Special forces. He's a Navy SEAL. That's special forces. Not services. Forces. What is wrong with you? They couldn't even write that right. Oh. But yeah, he was special forces. And he's a Navy SEAL. And so he and Batista were in Navy SEALs together. Spark being like no, Batista's probably like 3 years older than Revan. Because Revan 53, I think Batista's 55. So they were like 3 years old, 2 years older, whatever. I don't know. Batista is older than you think. He's older than Triple H, and Triple H was mentoring him. Keep that in mind. Anyway, no, is it just? He's like, hey, you owe me and all that, and I don't owe you nothing. All you shit, And so Bobby takes off. He's being attacked by Ja Rule and his rapper gang, and then BR shows up, and he's in on it. He's like, hey, I remember I said, this, that, and he's like, and then Rob Van Dam basically talks BR to helping him, and they have a fight scene, and then Bobby takes off, go on, get out of here, and yeah. Meanwhile, Seth kidnaps Bobby's daughter. So now Bobby has to gear up in his Navy SEAL outfit and go after his daughter. I'm sure I skipped a bunch of stuff, but it doesn't matter. So, it's time for the reveal. So, Seth has the daughter tied up with his two fat ass bodyguards, and Discalculated with him, and he goes, "Okay, this is enough. This is enough. You cannot his daughter. That's a child. That is a teenager. You cannot do this. You just basically your brother was a fuck up. He was a fuck up. He was a drug addict. He was the one that people. I watched review. The opening to this movie is not important. Like Matthew Buck, film rating, says it's 2,000 runtime. Actually, it does connect because here we find out that it was the brother who sold Seth out to that guy at the beginning, the informant at the beginning. So, yeah, it's just his luck that he went to the crooked cop. Seth's luck, I should say. And, Seth then flips out and reveals that it wasn't his brother, it was his son. They even go to a length to explain it. When he was 16, he knocked up a girl, and, they didn't want anything to do with it. And his parents, didn't want him. So the parents adopted the kid, and the kid was raised as his little brother. That's how it went. Yeah. And the guy never knew, I guess. But Seth did. Which, this twist does kind of make sense, because you look at him and go, he's kind of young, but, my brother and I are 11 years apart, so, actually, if you look at him, because he's got the long hair and the beard, he looks older than me. I'm serious. He does, I may be going bald up here, but I look better if I wasn't fat, But yeah. And my issue with this is that this reveal happens. Bobby is there, but he's like yards away with a sniper rifle, taking out other bodyguards that are around. And then he shows up after this revelation, and after Seth has already killed Discount Clint Eastwood. And he's like, okay, give me my daughter back, man. Just give it back. And he holds a gunpoint. He's like, you don't give it to me, I'm going to shoot you. And the guy's like, well, I'll kill your daughter. Go ahead. And the other's like, huh? Go ahead, and then I'll kill your boss. And I'm like, wait, that makes no fucking sense. Like, what? What? Yeah, they could kill her, and you kill the boss, but they still killed your daughter, you idiot. But yeah. So they let them go, but then sent the two fat ass guards after him, and then Batista shows up to help. They take out those guys. Does Seth die? I think he does. I don't care. And the movie ends. Yes. Yeah. It's the middle of the road. It's the middle of the road. It's gone down for me. So I used to like this movie a lot. But it's the middle of the road. It's all right. It's all right. I don't. The only reason I can think of why they were pushing Batista so much is because at the time he was sort of a WWE superstar. People from WWE would know him, although we would know Rob Van Dam too, so that makes no sense. But they were putting him forward, in the foreground over, I don't know. But yeah, it's the middle of the road. So, what are your thoughts on The Wrong Side of Town? Let me comment below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. Whoa, almost tipped.